Hello YouTube, this is Daniel, and today is the day I assemble my computer. This is all the stuff that I'm using. Please take note that I'm not the best person to set up for looks and stuff, so bear with me. This is the main hardware I'm using, and this is some extra parts that I will be using as well. So, we're not going to go into too much depth. If you guys wish to see more in-depth videos of this stuff I have purchased right here, feel free to watch my unboxing videos in my PC build playlist on YouTube. Right now I'm just going to go over the stuff that I'm using and explain what it will do, or what use it will have in my computer. Alrighty, so starting, I guess, from left to right. Starting from this side, we have two air-cooled dead silent case fans. These are fairly new. I put that one backwards. I put that one back in the wrong direction. Fail me. Well, that's alright. I tried my best. So these are two air-cooled dead silent case fans. These have built-in LEDs. I have a video about them as well. And these are going to be used for my case. And this is going to, so this fan, I don't know, both fans. One of them is going to be used for an exhaust fan on the top, and the other one's going to be used an exhaust fan for the back, which will require me to replace one of my one of the fans in my air-cooled case with something else. Next, we have the AMD Athlon 2 X2 gigahertz 2 giga I don't really remember what the gigahertz are, but it's an X2 250 Athlon 2 processor by AMD, and it's got the little sticker, which I'm debating whether or not I should mount it on the case or not. And I have this processor. I guess if I did mount the little thing on, I have to be very careful, because I get one shot at it, and if I don't get it all even and stuff, I will fail myself. So there's a little processor in an anti-static bag. This did not originally come in a box. It actually came with just the processor and the sticker in a little box. So that's why there's no box for it, or processor, or heatsink. Next, we have the Hyper Cooler Masters Hyper 212 Evo CPU cooler. This is going to be used for that processor. Comes with thermal paste, so I'll be using that as well. And the processor is an AM2 socket, so there we go. And this is a fairly popular cooler, so I'm happy to use this. Here's the motherboard I'm using, the Gigabyte 78 LMT USB 3, part of the ultra durable class, and it is nice. And this is the Revision 5 motherboard. I caught my eye because it's nice and small, and it's an MATX motherboard. It's perfect for this build. Has USB 2, PS2 ports, D-sub, which is VGA and DVI, HDMI, USB 3, as well as a USB 3 header on the motherboard. Gigabit LAN, USB 2, there's actually a lot of USB 2s on this, HD audio, PCIe Generation 2 slots, and a regular PCI slot. Nice. What I like also about this, it has a parallel and COM port, which I have a bracket for, USB 3, USB 2, and there's all the motherboard plugs are right next to those, and right next to that is SATA 2 plugs, and it has dual BIOS, IDE ports, 4 DIMM DDR3 slots, and it has this thing, which is a lower RS on MOSFETs. I don't know what that is. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. It says it supports AM3, AM3 Plus, and AM3 CPU, as well as AM2, which is not shown because it just shows the most recent ones it's compatible with. It should say somewhere on the board it is yeah, it does say if it's compatible with Athlon 2. And I already did a test video for this, test bench video for this motherboard, and it does. And I tried my AM3 processor, or AM2 processor with it, and it works just fine. And it does say it supports AM2 on their website. So it uses the AMD 760G chipset, and with ATI Radeon 3000 graphics, and it says it's AM3 Plus CPU ready. And that's this motherboard. And that's the motherboard I'm using. This is a Micro ATX motherboard, in case you are wondering. Next up is a hard drive by Hitachi. It's a DeskStar. This is very early SATA. It actually has a SATA port. It has SATA 1. This is SATA at 1.5 gigs per second with a Molex power connector under that little thing. And so it can be used with SATA power or Molex Legacy Power, as they call it, Legacy Power Connector. This is a 4-pin Molex. So this is a DeskStar by Hitachi, and this is an 80 gig hard drive. This is going to be used for with Windows 7 on it. I know I said I was going to put XP on this drive, but a friend of mine gave me a copy of Windows 7. It was actually a family member of mine. My aunt gave me, let me borrow Windows 7, an upgrade for a copy of Windows 7. So I'm going to install XP on this, and then upgrade it to 7. So at least I have a latest operating system with new updates and stuff, and I can use it with this hard drive. So this is only going to be used to like troubleshoot this board if needed, like adjust the fan setting or speeds of this, just troubleshooting and stuff. Maybe put a few Windows games on it, but mainly for troubleshooting, because this is not really a fast hard drive anyway. So that's the DeskStar. I should actually leave this on the bed because I shouldn't put this on the carpet. Next up is a Western Digital Desktop Mainstream, 1 terabyte. This is SATA 3 speeds with 6 gigs per second. Fortunately, the motherboard's SATA 2, so it's only 3 gigs per second, so that's going to slow down the drive speed. This is 1 terabyte, and these things are getting really cheap now. It's amazing that I was actually able to get this for $47.99 at Micro Center. So, yep, that's that. And that's the hard drive, which I can set on the floor because it's in a box. And here we have is an NZXT. I don't know why I'm starting to say Z. Anyway, this is an NZXT USB internal header expansion board. This just hooks up to a an internal USB header on the motherboard, and then that will give you 3 more USB headers plus 2 USB external 3 more USB 2 headers plus 2 internal USB ports for the computer, in case you want to put in an internal Wi-Fi USB Wi-Fi thingy, or an internal Bluetooth device, or perhaps an internal hard drive or internal floppy drive, anything like that. Basically it's an internal external USB port inside the computer, and this is attached to Velcro so you can stick it anywhere. And there's the plug and a Molex and this connects to a Molex connector, which I hope I have. I do have a Molex connector. I don't know if I'll have enough Molex connectors to accommodate for that, because I forgot I had this. But we'll see when I assemble it. So I'm going to put this guy right here. By the way, unfortunately, guys, I'm not really used to having a camera watching me while I'm assembling this thing completely, so I'm not going to record myself assembling the computer together. Perhaps I'll make a halfway through video and show you what I've done so far, and yeah, we'll see. But the likelihood of me making a video of me assembling this computer together is very slim. So anyway, that's what it looks like when it's in the computer. That's what it looks like when it's plugged into a USB 2 header. It does come with a USB 2 expansion, as well as 2-pin to 4-pin Molex connector. And again, this can be attached to a Velcro. So there's a picture of it sticking to wherever it's sticking. Looks like above a hard drive cage or whatever, with a little flash drive. You can even put a USB flash drive in this, like an external USB flash drive, and you can like stick it in for internal storage. Not recommending that, but I'm just saying you can do that. The reason why I'm putting this in here, because the motherboard only has 2 USB 2 headers, and I need about 3 or 4 of them for it to work in the case. Because the card reader I have, it requires a internal USB 2 header, and there is a USB 2 header on this thing. There's only one USB 2 header on that, and I also have a, what else required a USB 2 header? And the Bluetooth on this wireless card right here requires a USB 2 header, so that's why I have this expansion board. Alrighty, and for any other USB internal thingies I can buy in the future, here we have is the Corsair CX500 modular, part of the CX series. So this is not a semi-modular power supply. The only thing that's not modular is the ATX 12 volt ground, a 12 volt rail, as well as the motherboard 20 pin or 24 pin ATX connector. Those are attached to the power supply, but then there's four holes for mount plugging in other various ports. This is an 80 plus bronze, and here are the different power supplies they make that have different kinds of thingies. So CX, which is what I could have. CX is basically the same thing as this, except it's not modular at all. So there's modular and digital, and there's the AXI, which is they only make one kind of wattage for that, and that's an 80 plus platinum. And for some whatever reason, it says it's digital, and I don't know what it means by digital power supply, because I've never seen of a power supply before that is a digital. So the AX series, the AXI and AX are both platinum. The HX power supply is gold, and the TXM, TX, the TXM, the TX, the GS, the CXM, and the CX are all bronze. So those are the power supplies, and the only one that's digital is the AXI, and 5 of those power supplies are modular. And this is also compatible to be used in 240 watt power voltages, like for different countries. So this is modular ATX power supply. So those are the ports. One 20/24 pin. This thing can be detached for different kinds of motherboards. One 12 volt rail. A PCI Express plug for video cards or external power, and a SATA plug. Hold on a second, I have a cramp in my foot. Ow, that is painful. Ow. Alrighty. Ow, okay, that's gone. Alrighty, what else? And a Molex connector and a floppy drive power connector, but it can be used for other things. So here's how many ports are in there. So one ATX, one 12 volt rail, 2 PCIe plugs that can be either 6 pin or 8 pin, 5 SATA connectors, 4 Molex 4 pin connectors, and 1 floppy 4 pin connector, just in case you still got that floppy drive. And it comes with a 3-year warranty. Well, actually no, it just says it's Corsair guarantee for 3 years. It does not say it's a 3-year warranty. I don't know where the warranty is at all, but yep. And here's the different versions, ATX and whatnots, or not versions, but I'm not really sure what this all means, but I bet someone in the comments can tell me what that means. This does not have 0 RPM fan mode, or whatever Corsair calls it, where the fan just completely spins down to if it's not being used at max power at all. So it does not have that ability, but there's a graph to see how fast this fan will, when this fan will speed up. This is how it will speed up during what percentage of load it's currently going to be at. I'd say at I'd say usually for me I'd probably be 60 or 70% load, but I'm not sure, it's just an estimate. So that's the power supply by Corsair. Next up we got a mini 2.5 inch hard drive. This is a 60 gig hard drive. This is an 80 gig and this is 60 gig. It's amazing how 20 gig difference. But this is the Hitachi Travel Star drive. And this is, instead of it being SATA, it's an IDE drive. And it uses the mini IDE 2.5 inch plug that we know for today. So this are designed to be used in laptops. This actually came out of a Dell computer that I fixed for a friend of mine a long time ago. So I have a converter to convert the 2.5 inch IDE to 3.5 inch IDE, and we'll also give you a 4 pin Molex connector power for the power. That's also an anti-static bag. Here we have a copy of Ubuntu 14.04 LTS 64-bit. It's on a burned DVD. You can get these for free on Ubuntu's website. You just download the DVD installer and it'll, well, yeah, and it'll go right on here. I have the 64-bit version because that processor is a 64-bit processor, so it's a nice thing. Here we have, and that Ubuntu disk will be going on that hard drive. Here we have the internal card reader, which uses the USB 2 header. Nothing special about it. It's aberrant. I have a 3.5-inch slot on that Dead Silent case, so I figured why not get one of these guys? Because I don't have little to no computers with SD card slot at all. The only computer I have with any card slot at all is my laptop, and that's it. So it's good to have one of these things just in case. And it does have its own USB 2 plug. So it's Linux compatible, which is a good thing because that's what I'm going to be using. And that's the card reader. Here we have our RAM. This is a Kingston KVR 1333D3N9H-8G. This is just your typical RAM, and this is nothing special, not gaming, not Corsair Vengeance or anything like this. It's just typical Kingston DDR3 RAM. Next, right here, we have an OEM ASUS optical disc drive in this nice bubble wrap. There's the ASUS logo. It's not on the drive, it's just there. Right now, the drive's right side up, so I have it in the right direction, and all the special information's on the bottom. Now, this is a SATA optical drive, so nothing special about this. This didn't even come with screws, so I'm surprised they didn't even ship it in an anti-static bag either. Here we have our Intel wireless adapter. Fail. Never mind. So our Intel wireless adapter capable with Bluetooth and AC speeds. There's basically it's a laptop styled PCIe card adapter. So it just takes your laptop network card and converts it to a PCIe Express. This is actually a PCIe card slot. So basically it just converts it to the desktop version. Comes with a low profile bracket if necessary. There's all the stuff that comes with. There's a low profile bracket and there's the antenna. This can be mounted to a wall or stuck to something. Mounted to wall while using this thing. This is again your AC speed. There it is right here. iHeart AC with a little ball next to it, which I didn't understand. They got some pretty wacky box covers anyway, so. And they actually included the screws in the picture, which again, I don't understand either. So, there's the information. Supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz internet speeds. And yep. Here's Windows 7 Home Premium. This is from a family member. They gave this to me, let me borrow it. And this is just an upgrade copy, so I'm going to be installing XP on the computer, and then I'm going to use this to upgrade to Windows 7 Home Premium. And again, this is going on this drive. It's going to be going on the DeskStar drive. And, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what this drive is. This drive is going to be for music and movies and whatnot, like extra information that I don't mind losing if the drive fails, because this is actually a refurbished drive. And when I turned it on the first time, it actually, the little right heads, the little toothbrush thingy was actually, like, I could hear it clicking inside, and the drive was having issues powering on, so I had to tap it once, and then unplug it and plug it back in, then it started working. And I kept turning on and off to make sure it actually works, so, yeah. And, yep, that's the Windows 7 copy. Again, that's going to be used for troubleshooting for the motherboard and any other pieces, as well as BIOS updates. Here is the big guy. This is the Aerocool Dead Silent Micro ATX / Mini ITX cubed green case. And this is, I got this because of how small it is, and it just fits the bill for me. And yeah. Alright, that's all of my parts I'm using for my computer. These are all the major parts. And there it is, other parts, and the case itself. Those are all it. Thank you for watching those parts. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the small parts that don't really stand out, but they are going to be important for the build. Alrighty, so here we have this a 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch IDE converter using it's pretty cheap. It's like I got this for $2 on Amazon. This is a company called Monoprice makes it, and you could actually buy this at Micro Center for $10, but I got it for $2 on Amazon. So just converts a 2.5 inch IDE interface to the 3.5 inch, perfect for I guess for laptop hard drives. The motherboard has one IDE connector, and that's a good thing. And this is a 56K Zoom dial-up modem. I don't know what kind of chipset it uses, but it is a dial-up modem. Nice PC speaker. Now this speaker, I already told you the history about it. You can hear about the history in my PC build, my current parts video, where I talk about the speaker. But I'll tell you real quickly, this speaker came out of my dad's old computer he built a long time ago, and I kept it because I was sentimental. I don't know why. And he threw it out. Here's an extra phone line cable for the dial-up modem. The modem is also PCI, just so you know. This right here is just a plain old bracket. This is just a this basically is a COM port / parallel port bracket, and this makes use of those two pin headers on the motherboard, the COM and the parallel pin headers on the motherboard, and allows me to use them with the real stuff rather than just not using them at all, because I do have a few items in this house that use that kind of port. Since this computer is going there, I'm going to probably use this computer with my Altair, because the Altair uses, I have a 9-pin DB9 pin to DB25 pin cable for it, so that'll use the COM port. And in case if I go to a person's house and I need to use their printer and they just so happen to have a parallel port printer, I can use the parallel port on the computer. So, in case I do a LAN party or something like that. Alright people, that is all the parts that I'm going to be using to make my computer, all the main parts and all of the other parts that don't really stand out, but they're very important in this build. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where it'll be the aftermath after all and everything is all put together. Again, I might be making videos during the setup, during all the setup process. Maybe a couple of videos. I may or may not do it, but we'll see. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And leave a comment below if you have one.